What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, CamATL. Shout out to the DFS squad. Shout out to everybody watching this video right now. Drop a like down below because I already know you're going to love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you comment anything in the comment section to enter your name into the $50 giveaway that I do every single week on this channel. Thank you guys for joining me as always. Welcome back. In this video, I am going to cover my favorite plays for MLB, and then after we are going to switch over and I'm going to give you my favorite plays for NBA. It's going to be more of like I'm going to give you guys a core, obviously, but I'm also going to give you kind of like a little quick breakdown. All right, I'm going to try to get you in and out as quick as possible so you can go about your day. Go ahead and go get this money. Also, I wanted to let you guys know I haven't announced it on the YouTube yet. For anybody who doesn't follow me on Twitter, just to let you know, I will be dropping my game bets for free. The bets that I will be placing each night when it comes to game betting. You can do that over at Bovada.com. Most states allow Bovada. You can try Bovada. Check that out if you haven't already. I will be putting my free game bets up at _Tipzilla. Tipzilla. That is where I'll be putting my game bets. Yes, that is me. A lot of people have been, is that you? I wanted to separate DFS in the game bets pages. You know what I mean? I wanted to separate those two instead of combining them. So yes, it is me who runs that. It's just it'll be exclusively for my game bets over there at _Tipzilla. Tipzilla. I might even make a YouTube channel to start giving you guys tips on game bets and stuff like that. Let me know if you guys want me to start doing that. But let's go ahead and get straight into this. All right, starting off, first things first. This slate is beautiful. All right, we are 3 in a row with MLB. Cashed once again with MLB on DK and FanDuel last night, as well as cashing on NBA. We are super hot going into this new NFL season. Super happy about that. It was really important for me to get really some momentum built up before NFL started so we can really come into NFL on a high note. All right, now let's start it out. First things first, when it comes to pitching, today my first pitcher overall is going to be Andrew Heaney. Plain and simple. Andrew Heaney just has an amazing strikeout rate. He's going against a Texas team that strikes out a ton. He's a lefty, so he's going to offset a lot of that lefty power that's in the lineup, the lefties that are dangerous in this lineup at least. They don't have Mazzara anymore, which was a dangerous lefty. But Joey Gallo can still hit lefties, but most of the time he's a strikeout. You know, he's an easy strikeout for these pitchers against Texas. So when it comes to strikeout rates on this slate, Mike Clevenger's at the very top. Oh, actually, sorry. It is Walker Buehler, who's the other pitcher I like, and I'll talk about these two right now. All right, when it comes to strikeout rates, Walker Buehler's at the very top. Also, Dodgers are one of my favorite stacks of the day. So I think Dodgers, and if you want a game bet on Dodgers, they are huge favorites, so you're not going to get a huge return, but they're probably one of the more locks of the day. Okay, like they're probably going to easily get the W here. If you want to bet on the run line and give 1.5 to Arizona, you'll be able to get a little bit more money out of it. Either way it goes, though, Dodgers are going to win this. Anyways, Walker Buehler, Mike Clevenger, Lance Lynn, Andrew Heaney is the top 4 strikeout rates on this slate. Andrew Heaney is only 8-4, and he is up there, right there with Buehler. There's not a huge gap between these guys either. There's 28% K rate for Andrew Heaney, 28 for Lance Lynn, 28 for Clevenger, and then 30 for Buehler. Buehler's at the very top. He's 10-2. He's slightly more than Clevenger. Clevenger bothers me a little bit, all right? And let me explain why. Clevenger bothers me a little bit. He is a talented pitcher, yes. But he has just been either boom or absolute bust this season. He's not been consistent. I mean, he's been struggling, plain and simple. And Colorado can be a pesky offense at times. Now, Mike Clevenger should have a good outing here. Vegas only has Colorado projected for 3.9. It's a solid spot. When it comes to the FIP, he's got a 3.10, which is the best on the slate. He has a 1.15 whip, which is about 3rd or 4th on the slate, though. When it comes to spending up for pitching, I'm leaning Walker Buehler, and I'm also leaning Andrew Heaney as the 2 pitchers that you want to go with today. And that'll be it. All right. Next up, you can go Lance Lynn if you want to, but the Angels just have too many bats in this lineup that don't strike out a ton. You just don't have a ton of upside here if you play Lance Lynn, so I prefer going Walker Buehler, Clevenger, or Andrew Heaney, and those are the pitchers that I'm staying with. I'm not going in Alec Mills. I'm not going Turnbull, Hauser. Hauser I can understand for GPP because you guys know me. I recommend you spend down at pitching in GPP, and you spend up for bats. All right, so you spend down for the pitching because at the end of the day, if those pitchers can get you 10 to 15, all you need is those bats to get you like 30 double dongs. You know, that's what you want for upside. So Adrian Hauser is fine for GPPs if you want to spend down, but mainly, like I said, Walker Buehler, Mike Clevenger, Andrew Heaney are the pitchers you need to stick with. All right, let's talk about hitting. All right, because, I mean, we got some great bats here. Now, the first thing that I lean towards is San Diego because of the prices. They've got a few guys here. All right, Mitch Moreland and Jake Cronenworth. But let's start off with Mitch Moreland. Mitch Moreland's going against Chichi Gonzalez as the pitcher for Colorado. I believe he's got the worst whip on this slate. He's got the lowest K rate on this slate. San Diego has an incredibly high total. Mitch Moreland should be locking your lineups at 4-1. At the end of the day, this dude's a beast. He hits the ball just really, really hard and well. And he's just solid, man. Plain and simple. He's just a solid, solid bat. And in no way should he be 4-1. All right, lefty-righty matchup. He should not be 4-1 in a matchup like this against a guy like Chichi Gonzalez. It's a fantastic situation here. He has a 283 ISO and a 411 WOBA versus righties. So Mitch Moreland should get a dinger tonight, and at 4-1 gets you a cheap exposure there. Second base, Jake Cronenworth. At 4-3, Cronenworth, another guy, he's just been hitting the ball amazing. He has a 367 batting average versus righties, a 286 ISO, a 447 WOBA. Plain and simple, this guy will get on base. All right, plain and simple. He's got 2 home runs against righties this year, so don't expect a home run, but expect a lot of him getting on base, and he could have a huge game here. I mean, it's this fantastic spot. The kid also likes to steal bases, so he just gives you a solid, solid floor out of him. And at only 4-3, the Dodgers and San Diego are my 2 favorite stacks of the entire day. So, yes, please, I will take those guys 100%. All right, now, my favorite bat overall is going to be a Dodger, and it's going to be Corey Seager. All right, plain and simple. Corey Seager's got the lefty-righty matchup against Weaver. Seager has the best average out of all the shortstops on the slate, the best ISO, the best WOBA. The dude is an absolute monster versus right-handed pitching, and he gets to go against Luke Weaver, who has been atrocious, been giving it up. Last time this Dodgers team played against Arizona, I played a lot of lefties against them, and you want to do that. Trust me. You want to play as many lefties out of this Dodgers lineup as you can. They are deadly tonight, and they should have gigantic games. But you're going to have to play a premium for them. All right, and when it comes to guys who are in a fantastic spot that have also had great seasons, Corey Seager's at the top of the list here. Because if you look at the other guys, Max Muncy, Cody Bellinger, Jock Peterson. These guys have had extremely cold seasons. Now, we know what they're capable of against right-handed pitching, but they've just been very cold. Now, yes, they have upside, but they've been cold. Let me say that one more time. Now, Corey Seager, though, has been the hottest bat in this lineup, and he's got the lefty-righty against Weaver. He's my favorite overall bat on this slate, and I absolutely love him there at shortstop. If you want to pivot off of him and go Tatis, that's completely fine. Completely love San Diego. Like I said, San Diego and Dodgers, I'm going to be trying to get as much as humanly possible here. When the lineups drop, make sure to see where you can get cheap exposure to these lineups because these are both the places that you want to be. All right? Outside of that, let's just go ahead and see what kind of value we have on this slate real quick. I'll point per dollar. See what we got that pops up. DJ Stewart, if he's in the lineup. Ben Gamel. Really like Ben Gamel here in this matchup. There's some Milwaukee guys that are solid options here too. Going against Spencer Turnbull. Gamel doesn't have much of an ISO, not much of a WOBA. Like he's not a guy who absolutely dominates, but he's been hitting the ball well lately. He's leading off and he's only 2-3. Okay, so if you need a value guy, Ben Gamel is perfectly fine to use there. What else we got? JD Davis is 4-3. Optimizer loves him today. JD Davis will have the righty-lefty matchup there. Jeff McNeil. The optimizer is really, I'll tell you straight up, the optimizer is leaning a lot of Mets today. The optimizer loves Met players today. Plain and simple. They're the offense that the optimizer is leaning big time over against John Means, okay? And it makes sense. They are at a 5-5. You know what I mean? I feel like they could possibly end up being a GPP. And when I say at a 5-5, that's their Vegas implied total. But the Dodgers and San Diego are my top 2 stacks. Now, if you want to get contrarian, I would think the Mets will probably be contrarian. Plain and simple. And you want to prioritize guys like Jeff McNeil still hits lefties well. Todd Frazier, J.D. Davis. These are the guys that the optimizer loves the most. Also, I want to talk about this guy right here, Corey Dickerson. Corey Dickerson is a very solid option as well at only 3-2. He's got the lefty-righty matchup. I think Miami is a sneaky offense to get exposure to today. It's a sneaky offense against Kyle Wright. I think that is a solid way to go as well. All right, let's check over on FanDuel real quick, and then let's switch over to NBA. All right, so over on FanDuel pitching, we got Buehler at 10-4, Clevenger 9-6, Andrew Heaney 9-2. That's where I'm staying. I'm not going anywhere else. You could go Lance Lynn at 8-8. He is cheaper over here. He's a good value over here. But I'm still leaning over on DK. I lean Buehler as my number one. Over here on FanDuel, I'd probably lean Heaney. Just because he's just so much cheaper. And I think Heaney's right there with both of these guys today. I think Heaney's got the 30-point upside. He's got about a 18, 20-point floor, if I had to guess. So I think Heaney is a very solid option here. And that's the pitcher that I'm probably most likely going to get exposure to. In FanDuel GPPs, though, taking a punt on Hauser, you know what you're getting here, though. There's a big chance that he could blow up. So just keep that in mind. But going against Detroit, at any moment, a guy could put up a ton of points against that offense. So Heaney's my main guy, though. All right, now let's check our hitters. The guys that obviously we're going to want to. All right, Cronenworth 3-1, definitely playable. What was the other one? Moreland. Mitch Moreland 2.9. Yes, please. Love that. Love Mitch Moreland at 2.9. How much is Seager? Probably expensive. Corey Seager 3.9, so he's up there. How are the Bellingers of the world? 4.3. All right, let's see what the value is. Let's see. Come on, optimizer. Give me the good shit. All right, J.D. Davis at 2.6. That's locked. Righty-lefty matchup, one of the highest totals on the slate. You have to play J.D. Davis at that point. At only 2.6, please do it. Don't overthink it. Todd Frazier. Wow. The Mets are incredibly cheap over on here on FanDuel, and I'll straight up tell you, the Mets are the cheap stack to pair up with your San Diego and Dodgers, okay? But that's the exact way that I would play it. I'd put some Mets in your lineup where they're the cheapest and you get the best exposure, and then I'd put Dodgers and San Diego around them, all right? Trent Grisham at only 3.2 is, wow, that's pretty damn cheap. I love Trent Grisham and love him over on DK, but his price is just high. That's why I preferred Moreland and Cronenworth. So, yeah, those are the main guys. That's what you want to do. Plain and simple over on FanDuel. That's simple enough. Haney's my favorite pitcher, but if you have the money, go Buehler. You can go Clevenger. Those three guys are fine. And then when it comes to value, lock in J.D. Davis. Lock in some of these Mets, and then pair them up with some Dodgers and some San Diego. You should be good to go. All right, greenlightdfs.com. Join the squad. Now, you know what time it is. It's time to switch on over to the NBA Optimizer. Let's do it. Now that we are over here at the NBA Optimizer, let's talk some NBA. First and foremost, first thing I want to say, we do have an absolute lock on this slate, and he goes by the name of Rajon Rondo, 3.9. Yes, please. Optimizer has him projected at almost 30. Rondo is just an amazing facilitator, man. He's going to make a huge impact on this Lakers offense. Plain and simple. He is going to give them a huge boost. Rondo is just a solid. He's not much of a scorer, but he just gets the entire offense involved, and that in turn just gets the whole offense running smoothly. Rondo makes a big impact, and at 3.9, he's locked. Lock in Rondo, move on. Love him, all right? Contavious Caldwell-Pope's another value the optimizer loves. George Hill at 4.4, the optimizer loves. Now, when it comes to spend-ups, James Harden is the top. The optimizer thinks Harden's going to drop 68 and go crazy. Do I believe he's going to drop 68? No. Could he drop 60? Sure. All right, the way Westbrook's been playing, he sure can. Westbrook is only 8.4, though, so he is solid value, but the optimizer recommends, as you can see, just for a first look at the points per salary for these two top spend guys. It recommends that you grab a James Harden or a LeBron James. All right, you pair it with some Rajon Rondo, and then you get some mid-ranger guys around it. So first things first, Eric Bledsoe, once again, is projected great. You've got Goran Dragic right here at 7.2. That is projected solid. Jimmy Butler is always going to be good, especially playoff Jimmy Butler. The dude's been balling. Robert Covington at 6.5. Brook Lopez at 6K. You can get these mid-range guys paired around Rajon Rondo, whatever spend up you decide, Harden or LeBron. If I had to choose, I would go LeBron solely on the fact that he just feels a little more consistent than James Harden does. James Harden has those moments where he goes off, but he also has those moments where he can't make a shot. So that's the problem there. But he does have crazy upside. In GPP, it's got to be Harden. Okay, James Harden's the player that can drop 80. LeBron's not going to drop 80, not with AD on that team. All right, so James Harden for GPPs, which when it comes to 2-game slates and once we get to the playoffs and stuff, my whole strategy shifts over more to GPP because it's so small slates. I kind of focus on trying to be different where I can instead of trying to be safe. The double ups are still okay sizes though, so you can still play them. Obviously, those are easy W's. But if you're playing in GPPs, actually play GPP. Don't put a cash built lineup into GPPs. I would go James Harden for GPP, all right? And then Rajon Rondo is my other favorite player. And then outside of that, like I mentioned, you've got Eric Bledsoe, Dragic, Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, Robert Covington, Jay Crowder. Those are the main guys around there. And then George Hill is solid value as well. Let's check over on FanDuel real quick. All right, over here on FanDuel, how much is Rondo over here? Ooh, they got him priced accurately? Yeah, 6.2. FanDuel has him priced accurately. So over on FanDuel, he's not quite a must, all right? Over on DK, he's a lock, though, all right? So don't overthink that at all. Love Eric Bledsoe at 5.2. Love Jay Crowder at 5.1. James Harden's 10.8 over here. LeBron's 11.1. 10.6 for Giannis. Pay attention to Giannis. Hopefully he plays. I believe he will. Chris Middleton at 8K is solid. Man, when it comes to spend-ups, who do I want here? I mean, you know the scoring is different over here, so blocks and stuff like that are more merit. That's why an Anthony Davis is 11.4. Yeah, I'm leaning LeBron as the safest option, but Giannis is a great option at only 10.6. But Giannis has been hampered, man. Giannis has that like an ankle issue going on with him, and you can see he'll grimace when he comes down after a dunk, and you just can tell he's uncomfortable. So, probably LeBron as the guy over here with this scoring, but Harden's fine too. And when it comes to value, Eric Bledsoe, Jay Crowder, Brook Lopez are the main go-to guys, and then just kind of put some mid-range guys around it. Don't get too cute, man. I mean, you're good to go. It's pretty simple. Over on DK especially. On FanDuel, it's a little more complicated to find the value because you don't have Rondo must-play value because he's 6'2". Okay, they priced him very accurately. Over on DK, they priced these guys with their eyes shut. You know what I mean? So Rondo's locked over there. Don't overthink it. Lock him right now. Matter of fact, while I'm talking, go onto your DraftKings screen and lock Rondo and never take him out of there. Okay? Do not take Rondo out. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me as always. Hopefully I was able to cover everything that you guys needed answered. Thank you for joining me as always. Hit up @_tipzilla for the game bets every day for free, and then greenlightdfs.com to join the squad for the lines as normal. And follow me on Twitter, my regular Twitter, @cam_ATL for any questions you might have. And later on in the week, I'll be doing my final look for NFL. If you haven't checked out the first look lineup, check that out on my page, and come check out that final look later on to get you really going and locked in for this week. All right? Thank you guys for joining me. I'm out. Peace.